Hi guys and welcome to my first FIFA 22 Team of the Season predictions video, and we're kicking it off with the Premier League, and we're not too far away from Team of the Season at all. And also I think Team of the Season this year is going to be absolutely insane with the amount of amazing cards that are going to be available. Last year Team of the Season, if you go and have a look at the FIFA 21 teams in for the Premier League, it wasn't actually that great. The Team of the Year cards that came out months earlier were much better cards, but this year the Team of the Year cards haven't been given as such like an insane like boost compared to previous years, which kind of leads me to think, especially with these fantasy foot cards right now, like Rashford and St. Maximan are going to be almost Team of the Year level if they're to get all their upgrades potentially. Leads me to think that to keep people engaged as we get further along in this game, so like when Team Season does come around, that they're going to have to make these cards absolutely out of this world. So we're going to be having a look in order, going from the goalkeeper position all the way up through the defenders, midfielders and attackers. I might rush through some of these ones because I don't want to kind of keep you guys waiting here for like 20 minutes of me explaining my decisions, why I put them in there. I'm going to try and keep it under 5 minutes, and to the back end of this video I've got maybe like a flashback player that we might see for Team of the Season for the Premier League, and also a moments card as well. So 97 rated Alisson, he has got 16 clean sheets, he's the highest one so far. 3 ahead of Edison, and personally I think he deserves to be there purely because he looks like he's going to win the Golden Glove, so I think he will get in there into packs. I think Aaron Ramsdale could also get in there, but probably as like an SBC, 91 rated. He's had a headliners card this year as well. Yeah, okay, he made a mistake in the other game recently against Liverpool, but on the whole he's been very consistent this season. I want him to be the goalkeeper personally for the World Cup later on this year. I think he's deserved to earn that right to get the England club to be the number one, in my personal opinion. I think he won't come into packs because EA only usually do one goalkeeper in packs for Team of the Season, but I think you could definitely get in there as maybe like an SPC, something like that. 96 rated Antonio Rudiger. I know that Chelsea have dropped off a little bit as the season has gone on, but he's still been a very good defender for them. And obviously with the whole kind of thing going on right now with like Abramovich and like the owners of Chelsea is still kind of like they're not playing insane, but they're grinding out results. And they're keeping clean sheets still in quite a few games, and Rudiger has still been a class player for them this season. I think he deserves to be in Team of the Season. He had a honorable mentions card for Team of the Year. I think he deserves to be in that Team of the Season come when it does arrive. 94 rated Joel Matip. I think he deserves to be in there. One of few very few Premier League defenders to actually win a Player of the Month as well, which he got very recently, and he's been so consistent for Liverpool this season. He's remained injury free. He has stood out really well. 94 rated. Won't be as like insane as some of the other Team of the Season defenders, but even so, that card is still really good. So at 94 for Joel Matip, 96 Cancelo. I think he will be getting into Team of the Season. I think he deserves to be in there, and I think he will also get a better card than his Team of the Year card. His Team of the Year is only a 94 rated. I can't see his Team of the Season cards being lower or even being at the same rating, because people just won't be interested in like a 93 Cancelo or a 94 Cancelo. I think EA are going to push the boats out more for Team Season this year and make them higher rated than Team of the Year cards. So I've gone with Cancelo getting a +2 increase on his Team of the Year card at a 96 rated, and he'd be absolutely ridiculous. 96 as well also for Trent Arnold, 11 assists this season. For a fullback to be literally top of the assists chart is absolutely ridiculous. You know, usually you'll look at most leagues and it will be usually midfielders that will kind of top those charts, but for a fullback to be able to do it is absolutely out of this world. But has picked up a very recent injury with Liverpool, but into like the final 10 games of the season with Liverpool, he's been class for them this season. He 100% deserves a Team of the Year card, Team of the Season card, sorry. And the same for Van Dijk, who's come back. He's remained injury-free this year, just like Matip. The two of them have been absolutely superb. He has been, out of all of them, the best defender, certainly the best central defender. You know, Ruben Diaz has been good at times, but has had obviously a few injuries. Matip has been good. Rudiger's been good, but Van Dijk has 100% been the best. 97 rated for him. Into midfielders, I think Rodri does deserve to be in there as a 95 rated card. Solid as ever once again for Manchester City this season. He'd have a pretty nice card. And also I've gone with Kai Havertz as a 95 rated card, who, again, with all the kind of uncertainties of Chelsea at the moment, looking for a new owner, the whole thing that's going on with Russia at the moment, and Abramovich, he's another one of those players. He's really stepped up to the mark this season in general compared to last year. Obviously, he was, fantastic in that Champions League final, but on the whole, his first season at Chelsea was probably, and I think Chelsea fans will agree with this, it was a little bit underwhelming, but this year, he certainly proved to be much better. 95 rated for him. I think he might not get into the full starting 11, but I think we'll see him come in at the minimum in terms of an SBC at 95 rated. Also, another 95 rated card, Declan Rice, has been fantastic for West Ham this season. Not just in the Premier League, also in the Europa League as well. But yeah, in the Premier League, Once more, very, very solid for them. Soucek was fantastic last season and got into team season and still been good this season. But Declan Rice has certainly been the best midfielder for West Ham this season. Certainly from a defensive standpoint, and an even decent on the attack as well at the same time. 95 for him. De Bruyne, who of course also has a Team of the Year card. I've gone with him getting a better Team of the Season compared to his Team of the Year by a +1 rating, I think. He 100% deserves to be in there once more. I don't know if he's picked. I think he's fit as well. He's been fit for quite a while now. He seems to be getting some good game time, not picking up that many injuries at the moment. Yeah, definitely deserves to be in this team season. As does Heung-min Son as well. Another good performance from him against West Ham the other day, and it's been another really, really good, consistent season for both him and Harry Kane. They've been Spurs' two main stand-up players by an absolute mile. So I think he was in team season last year as well, but I think no one could have many complaints about him getting back in there once again this year. Another Arsenal player, Bukayo Saka, 100% has to get into team of the season. 95 rated. It's actually had 3 different informs so far in FIFA 22, but actually no other promo cards, just 3 separate informs, like an 84, 86, and 87, I think. Yeah, he has to get into team season. He has been, I think, from what I've seen, I mean, Ramsdale's been fantastic, in goal, but I think in terms of the outfield players, I don't watch Arsenal all the time, but whenever I do watch them, yeah, Smith Rowe looks good, Lacazette's had a good season, Martinelli as well, but Saka has 100% been their best player this season. He is very, very good, and I can't wait to see him at the World Cup this year. I think he'll be absolutely unreal. Jota as a 95 rated, he has to go in. I've gone with position change as well because he does play most of his games for Liverpool. I know he sometimes will switch out wide, but for the most part, he does typically play central out of all the Liverpool players. Occasionally, Mane and Salah will also play central as well, but more often than not, Jota this season, when he's played, usually spends most of his time playing in the central position as a centre forward. As a 95 rated, he'd be absolutely amazing. Salah getting a 98 rated, of course, the Premier League top goal scorer. He will get the golden boot this season. I have no doubts in that again. 98 rated. Could potentially be his final Liverpool card as well. A final Liverpool promo card if he decides to maybe even leave in the summer. But I suppose, yeah, 98 rated, absolutely sensational for him. And 96 rated Harry Kane. I think he does deserve to get into team this season. I think he's some very, very good. I thought at the start of the season there was a lot of uncertainty, of him maybe going to City and stuff like that. But he's really picked up his form as the season's gone on. The game against Manchester City was a world-class performance from him as well, and I think he's done enough to get into team of the season. I think he has been. Jota, you can't really call a proper all-and-out striker the same way that Harry Kane is, in my opinion. I think out of players that consistently play as a striker, which Jota doesn't, because Jota sometimes does play out wide. In terms of actual proper all-and-out strikers, Kane has been the best in the Premier League this season. I personally think so anyway. And then onto the team season moments, kind of going with Chris Wood. The reason why I've gone with him, because we are going to get team season moments cards, I've gone with Chris Wood because this was actually when he was back at Burnley during the start of the season. I think it was like August 2021. He scored the Premier League's 30,000th goal, which is a big milestone, of course, since the Premier League's been going in like the early 90s. So I think a moments card for him would be pretty cool. Now, of course, at Newcastle, I tried to increase like his stats by like putting up like some of his stats, like his pace by about 20 or something, and even then it's only like 86. But yeah, he'll be a bit of a fun card to get. And then for my flashback card, I've gone with Matic, flashing back to his inclusion in the FIFA 18 team of the season, because I genuinely don't think Ronaldo, in fairness, I suppose, could also maybe get into team of the season, because United would be nowhere within the chance of the Champions League if it wasn't for him. So maybe you could make a case for Ronaldo to be in team of the season as well. Fabinho's also been really good. Robertson at the same time. Plenty of other players, Gerard Bowen, Foden, Mahrez and stuff like that. There are so many other good players as well, but ultimately only about 15 or 16 nearly get into the full team season, with a few in SBCs and stuff like that as well. But I'll go with Matic, flashing back to his inclusion in FIFA 18. He doesn't really tend to ever get any promo cards now, so I think now would be a good excuse to give him like a flashback card where he's actually going to be like half usable. But anyway, guys, there is my Premier League team of the season predictions. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later.